According to the tables which we have assembled, it is our estimate that 4% of the American people own 85% of the wealth of America, and that over 70% of the people of America don't own enough to pay the debts that they owe. How many men ever went to a barbecue and would let one man take off the table what's intended for 9/10 of the people to eat? The only way you'll ever be able to feed the balance of the people is to make that man come back and bring back some of that grub he ain't got no business with.
Under this oak, where one of our forebears, Evangeline, waited for her lover, Gabriel, who never came. This oak is an immortal spot. The entire world knows about this oak from the poem of Longfellow. But Evangeline is not the only one who has waited here in disappointment. No, no. Where are the schools that you have waited for your children to have but never come? Where are the roads and highways that you have sent your money to build but are no closer now than ever before? Evangeline wept bitter tears, but that only lasted one lifetime. Your tears in this land and around this oak have lasted for generations. Will you let me dry the tears of those who still weep?
Now, how are you going to feed the balance of the people? What's Morgan and Baruch and Rockefeller and Mellon going to do with all that grub? They can't eat it. They can't wear the clothes. They can't live in the house. Give them a yacht. Give them a palace. Send them to Reno and give them a new wife when they want it. If that's what they want. But when they've got everything on the God's living earth that they can eat and they can wear and they can live in, and all that their children can live in and wear and eat and all their children's children can use, then we got to call Mr. Morgan and Mr. Mellon and Mr. Rockefeller back and say, come back here. Put that stuff back on this table here that you took away from here, that you don't need. Leave something else for the American people to consume. And that's the program. We're not going to destroy the Gulf Refining Company. We're not going to destroy the Standard Oil Company. But we're going to say that the limit of any one man's stock ownership in the Standard Oil Company is from $3 to $5 million to that individual, and that the balance of the people of America own the balance of what the Standard Oil Company is worth. All right.
My name is Huey P. Long, Jr. Like any good patriot, I was born in a log cabin. I would get up before the sun to help my daddy, and my sympathy has always gone to those who toil, and I have endeavored to help them. They say I'm the Karl Marx of the hillbillies. I'm no Karl Marx, but I do love the working man. Now you get that, type it up, and bring it in here when you're done.
Every people out there, every neighbor of hers, we're down there, man. Masses of America, 75 to 80 to 85% of the people not only give up their property year after year, but they go further and further and further into economic slavery to where the flesh and blood of the born and the unborn will never be able to raise the debt, let alone come back and rescue the property that they've lost from these depressions.
You know how for most of you, your pocketbooks are empty, your bellies are tight? They tell us we are even faced with communism. Why not? When 1% of the people control wealth. I'm not a communist. I would not take a single luxury away. But when we reach a point where some men have so many millions that another 100 or so means nothing to them, we are going to have to siphon off some of the water for our own little pool. That's God's law. Look it up in Leviticus. Well, we are going to restrict the piling up of wealth in the hands of the few, and we are going to give it to the people. Now, this is a chance for you to make your voices heard in Washington. We have created an organization called Share Our Wealth Society, and we have prepared a pamphlet for you, and we can send it to you for free, and the whole plan is set forth in it. So I'm appealing to you to organize a Share Our Wealth Society in your own community tonight or tomorrow, and help me, as your servant, see that the government of this country is returned to the people.
And now, the corporate element of this state that were cheek for Joel, hand in hand with them, who profited by it, who ransacked this state for the element of their allies, are being told what they can do and what they can't do, what they will pay, what they can't keep from paying for the welfare of the people of Louisiana, and we expect to have this state ruled by the people and not by the Lord and the interest of high finance.
Will the distinguished senator from wherever the hell he's from please yield the floor for 1 moment?
I will reluctantly yield the floor to the junior senator from Louisiana.
Thank you. Now, when I first came here to Washington 6 months ago, I felt that we were on a mission to save this country from the despair which is gripping it. But all I get is a good deal of dither and blather from both parties. Millions and millions of workers are out of work. Millions of farmers are losing their farms to the banks, and what are the banks going to do with them? Now, you listen to me. Stop fooling around. Break up the concentration of wealth in this country and redistribute it according to the Lord's plan. Or if you do not, listen. Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. Weep and howl.
Senator, what are you trying to do? Start a revolution?
No, sir, I'm trying to wake you all up.
Sir, you are not speaking for us.
Well, if I'm not speaking for y'all, I guess I'm speaking against you. The economy of this country is collapsing, and unless we do something about it, the people will be at those Capitol doors 6 months from now looking to string you scoundrels up. And unless you awaken, I'll be there tying the noose.
Then we start from the bottom, that the 25 or more million American families shall have a homestead, a home, and the comforts of a home, including an automobile and a radio, the things it takes in that house to live on. We say to America, 125 million, none shall be too big, none shall be too poor, none shall work too much, none shall be idle. No luxurious mansions empty, none walking the streets, none impoverished, none in pestilence, none in want, but in the land blessed by the smile of the Creator, with everything to be consumed, to be eaten, to be worn, that America will become a land sharing the fruits of the land, not for the favored few, not to satisfy greed, but that all may live in a land in which the Lord has provided an abundance sufficient for the luxury and convenience of the people in general, I think.